Okay, we're going. Yay! Okay. Hello, I'm Becca.
And I'm Romy.
And this is the Creative Chronicles Podcast, your weekly entertainment fix and insight into the industry. Yes.
Industry.
Pow, pow, pow. This is episode 3. Tres. Right?
Yeah, I couldn't think. I was trying to think of another 3 in a different language, but I couldn't. Try. There you go. Boom. German.
Wonderful. See you later. Okay, so how have you been? All good?
I'm all right. Yeah, cracking.
Good.
Been working, freelancing.
Love it.
Yeah, had a lovely breakaway, so that'll go into what I'm watching.
Okay, here we go. What are you watching?
Watching.
What are you watching?
Went to Northumberland. Lovely place. Weird.
Weird.
Bit weird.
Yeah. Okay.
As in gorgeous views.
Yes.
Lovely national park.
Yes.
No pubs.
Huh?
Well, the pubs they had.
No pubs.
I was like, I've just done a 5-hour hike, being lost in the rain. I really want a pint.
In rain. That's
in
all
rain.
You want. Yeah, you do.
Well, they had pubs, but
Okay.
the pubs were either attached to a motorway and a petrol station,
Oh.
or they were very in these little villages. And then they're, like, you want a nice beer garden. Do you know what I mean? You want some land. You want some fresh air.
You do.
And they had this wonderful land, but then the beer gardens were like facing the street.
Oh.
Or the car park you parked your car in. So instead of looking at this gorgeous land, even if it's just a field, I was looking at my Susie, the Suzuki. And I was like, I don't want to look at her.
See you every day, Susie, so no thanks.
But gorgeous place.
Cool.
So this is what's brought me to my Viking era.
Okay, here we go.
I am now a Viking. Okay, we have had things like Game of Thrones, all these battle scenes. I have not wanted to pick up a sword
as much
as I have watching Viking shows. I've started Vikings and what's it called? The Last Battle. What's it called? I can't remember the bloody show.
I don't know. I haven't watched any Viking shows for a while, so.
Well, the Last Kingdom. There we go.
Okay.
The Last Kingdom.
Film as well. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. So really clever. They've done like 5 seasons and then finished it with a film.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is a very good way to tie a series up to let your audience know as well. There's never going to be any more. They kind of did that with
the end.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Do you remember they did the film, and I think that was a way to say to audiences, "Shut up,
stop. We don't make any more. Bye."
So I've been watching Last Kingdom.
Cool.
All about the Vikings.
Lovely.
Sort of set around Northumberland and their
Ooh,
castles.
so you were probably like, "This is me.
Yes,
you shall not pass."
Because the history is absolutely amazing, and it's part of history that I've never really learnt it. To say we're in the UK, I didn't learn anything about Vikings or Saxons when I was in school.
No. Well, if we did, then it slipped out my brain. So.
Yeah, no, I was learning about Russians and the history of medicine. I wasn't learning about actual
Pythagoras
British history.
Yeah. No, I get you.
So, yeah. Just next time I come in, I'm probably going to be wearing like an animal and
have all the braids in your hair. An animal. I've got a spare stole if you want one.
There you go, I'll take it.
It's not got any heads or anything. But
it'll be a plastic sword if you do see one though.
Okay.
So,
cool.
I could get a real one though. Yes. So I'm in my Viking era.
Love that.
What have you been watching?
Well, I probably late to the party. I watched all of Inside Man, in one night. Great. God, I mean, obviously it came out last year, so I am a bit late to it, and I love Stanley Tucci. He's one of my favourites, but it didn't gel. It was, there's a maths teacher and a priest. The maths teacher meets the journalist. I thought it was going one way, but then she goes off to America to meet Stanley Tucci, who murdered his wife, and you never find out why or where he put her head. And then back in the UK, there's some bad things going on. Someone gets put in a basement. It just kind of...
Yeah.
They went with something and it snowballed, and it went to a completely different stupid place that it could have been solved if it had just been like, that flash drive isn't mine, that porn's not mine.
Done.
See you later.
Done. I agree. I remember watching it and thinking this is very disjointed.
Yeah.
And why are you trying to put 9 different things.
Oh my God, so many different things
into one.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, I'm sorry, but you've got to be like the most amazing writer ever. Otherwise, it feels off.
It was like, here are all these storylines. We're probably not going to tie up these, but we'll tie up those ones.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No, and there were so many. I think nowadays it's hard. And it is hard for writers and stuff because when you notice a plot hole.
Yeah.
And why couldn't the priest have just said, it wasn't mine.
It wasn't me. It wasn't my son's either, so don't go there.
I'll go to the police and...
Yeah, but it was really stressful. And then the woman that was kidnapped in the basement was trying to play all cool and clever, and she like peed in all corners of the basement and cut herself up and put her blood everywhere.
Put the DNA everywhere.
And then she tried to play the husband off against the wife, and that didn't really even work out the way that I thought it would. And then the son was down there, and then they tried to, the dad tried to poison the woman, but didn't realise the son was there.
Why was the
carbon
son
monoxide. Basically, how I'm explaining it makes no sense because it made no sense, really.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, and I feel like if you'd have just stripped away, you have Stanley Tucci and David Tennant, two of the most amazing actors of our time. You know what? I could just watch them talking.
I know.
Priest to a murderer.
That's why I like the ending scene, because they were both talking to each other, and I was like, come on,
that's what you want.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
But it was fine.
Yeah. It's a good watch. It's 4 episodes. I'm always saying I'm not mad at what I would call like a limited series, which is like between 1 and 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about investing my time in that. Good, easy watch. But then not good, so sort of like an easy, weird watch.
Like, I preferred like a version, it's quite similar, but like The Stranger. I really liked that.
Yes.
There were some a bit like ridiculous parts in that, a bit stupid at times, but I quite liked where the story went.
Michael C. Hall?
No, but the same author, I think. His was the one where his daughter goes missing.
Yes,
which I might rewatch.
That's the vibe that I was kind of wanted.
I like that vibe. Yeah. All that kind of Dr. Foster, Happy Valley. Yeah, that's what I want. Whereas Inside Man was just a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, didn't believe it.
Basically, don't put porn on a flash drive.
Yeah, literally. Who has a flash drive nowadays?
I mean,
why would it be on a flash drive? Why would you put porn on a flash drive?
And the person that gave it
Kiddie
to
porn,
David Tennant, yeah, it was bad.
It was children's porn.
He gave it because his mum would search his. Obviously, he'd done it before, and that wasn't explored. And the mother never came back to the mother. Anyway, I just thought it was a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Don't
have kids, because then you'll try and protect them from stuff they don't really need protecting from. And
this is why Romy's the writer and I'm not. I'm like, it's just stupid. Imagine if you wrote that in your reviews.
Honestly, I watched a film the other day and I just wanted to put cool but boring. And I have to extend that into like 500 words.
It's all
why
right.
is it cool? And then why does it become boring?
I don't know.
Like, I liked it. And then I saw it had 12 episodes and wanted to die. So
can't you allowed to write that kind of stuff? No?
Depends on what audience I think I'm going to get.
Okay.
I was being very nice about this one.
Right.
Because it was very sweet. But I did write 12 episodes and 5 presenters is a lot.
Right, well, there you go.
So no.
Holy moly. So yeah.
So today we're going to talk about things behind the scenes.
Ooh, here we go.
Because we've done lots behind the scenes, from being models, singer, actors. So we're going to talk about basically our favourite things, the best parts.
Yep.
And then
the worst parts, our pet peeves.
Pet peeves.
Yeah, because we love pet peeves.
Yeah, it's not a glamorous industry.
Romy and Rebecca's rants. Yeah, it's not a glamorous industry. Even though when you're the main attraction, it's fine.
Yeah.
But when you're like a supporting artist or someone low level,
runners,
it's not the
I
best.
would never be a runner. Runners have my respect.
Yeah.
So much. Mm-hmm. And I know that you do that. That's how you earn your way. I've known runners who are now, second ADs, assistant directors on productions.
Yeah.
And they've earned it.
Mm-hmm.
I could not be a runner.
No.
Basically, a runner runs around and does absolutely everything on set.
Mm-hmm.
From looking after supporting artists to being atmosphere to finding more slates. They do absolutely everything.
Coffee, to get food.
And they could be there 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
No!
No thanks.
So just respect your runners out there.
Yeah.
Respect. So, what is your favourite thing you've done?
Okay.
And the best
about
it? Or if you've got 2.
Okay. So, probably my favourite time on set was my friend, you know him as well, Velton, got me a job on a Dominic Brunt film.
Nice.
The title is Attack of the Adult Babies.
Oh, yeah.
So it was really fun. 2017, like obviously quite a few years ago now. Really good shoot. We were at, forgive me for the pronunciation, Broughton Hall near Skipton. Maybe I'm allowed to say that. Anyway, if we're not allowed to say that, I was at a really nice house in Skipton because they didn't know what we were actually filming. So, but it wasn't like weird. But it was kind of a film about a group of men, older men, that go and get treated like babies by us nurses, and I was cast as one of the nurses. So there was like a big, probably 6 or 7 nurses, and we were dressed as sexy nurses. We had like little hats on, little skimpy dresses, high heels, and blah blah blah. And the set was amazing, so obviously we were in this beautiful house, like the gardens, the grounds, amazing. The crew was really nice. Dominic was really good. Like, we had a really good AD called Mark, who's a filmmaker, and it was just like, can you do this role? So really, it was initially no speaking. Just stand there, do this, do that, blah blah blah. You're basically like the caregivers of these old men in nappies, adult babies. It's a fetish apparently, so good times. And but it's about this family that end up coming here, and all this craziness ensues, and there's like a murderous head of the nurses, and Dominic Brunt's wife's in there, and she is creepy as fook in this film. And basically there's like this succubus that lives in the basement. I won't give too much away. You could probably go watch it on a horror channel or something. Yeah. But the whole time I was there, it was like, oh, Rebecca, could you do this? And like, do you mind doing that? And obviously I was only on like a supporting artist pay, but because they kept asking me back, it was more like, could you do this? Oh, the actress that has this line isn't going to be here on this day, and she's just said no because she wanted to go. Or she was going to a wedding or something. And they offered to do like all her hair and makeup, and I literally let her go. And it only took me like an hour to do it, but they basically gave me her scene. Yeah. So I ended up with a line. They were like, "Oh, can you do all of these extra bits?" Because it was quite like a small crew and small cast. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not sure of the budget. I don't know if it was really low budget or not. But they were like, "Could we drag you along so we could just see the legs of like this dead nurse?" And so it just kind of like became like a full week at this amazing place. With a really nice cast, a really nice crew. And I just felt valued because they were like, oh, well, we need to do it this way. And they took my suggestions on board without me being like, well, nice. I think we should do it this way. I went, how about if I do this? Yeah. And they were like, yeah, that's a really good idea. And then we had like an end of like a wrap kind of like meal and some drinks, and then ended up staying at the place. Nice. And it was just like, felt like a whole team.
Felt like a family.
It did feel like a family. I was probably like, I fucking made it. I've made it here.
I made it. This is it. This is my big break.
And now I'm just like, can I please have an agent now? I need a new agent. Thank you. But honestly, it was one of the best things, and everyone was just really supportive of each other.
It is nice when you get on something that's consistent. Yeah. And it's like everybody gets on. Yeah. And it's easy. And it's not
so easy.
Drawn out. Like I've been on some productions where you sit there and you're like, why has this taken 4 hours? Yeah. What is actually going on? Who do I need to speak to? I should not still be stood here as an SA 4 hours later in the same position because no one is doing anything. Like,
oh my God.
But when it all flows.
It's so nice.
It's so nice, and everything gets done, and then every day is different, and every day you're working with the same people. Like you can make friendships, you can make connections, and then
because you do bond with people really quickly when you've got to do like 12-hour days. But they obviously didn't. They weren't always 12-hour days, and it didn't feel long.
That's what's nice as well, when it doesn't feel long.
Yeah. So you could get up the next day and you didn't feel like absolute arse because you'd been up at 5 a.m. and got back at like 7. Yeah. But I just loved it. Yeah. It was really good. Anyway, tell me your best experience.
I've got one quite similar. Yeah. I did sort of like back-to-back filming with the same production company. Cool. And again, it was a lot of essay work, but then had lines being given to me because what's nice is they'll pick you out and they'll give you random bits and bobs to do. So we did like 3. We did Father Christmas is Back, Mrs. Willoughby's Haunted Bookshop, and
oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Another Christmassy kind of one. All
yeah.
Yes, so I had like consistent work for like 6 months, which was great. It was like York and back.
Yeah.
And I love York, so filming in York City Centre and stuff like that is just
nice.
lush. And obviously when you're around there, you've just got so many nice locations.
Yeah.
That production company, I think, works really well. They do churn out films.
Yeah.
But it's great. They're quick. They're on it.
And they're like a Hallmark
kind
movie
of
thing. Oh,
yes,
cool, I love that.
And one of the producer director guys, he's Scottish. He's great.
Oh, sick.
And being given one-liners and scenes to film, and how they like just try and shock you, like they'll change that character's line without telling you, and reacting to it and all those really fun stuff. And then on that one as well, it was one of those days where, like, you know, I'm just stood there like la 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 la, and then like Kelsey Grammer's there, and I'm like, oh my god, Fraser, and he's, well, I say there, he's like, you know, the tallest person in the world, and I was like, oh my god, I'd heard he was here, but I've not filmed with him yet.
Oh my god.
And I love those kind of like surprises where some people really get into it, and you'll have these SAs who know everything, don't they? They know exactly who's in the film, where they've come from, and they're very
some know-it-alls.
Very know-it-all-y.
Yeah.
I kind of just go with an open mind of like, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is as long as I can get there and park, I am.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fine with that. So when you get like a surprise of an actor being there,
oh my god, I bet that was so exciting.
I was like, so good. And then there was like, was it Elizabeth Hurley as well? I think she was in it that I saw. Oh, Caroline Quentin. Got to speak to her a few times.
God, I'd be like,
which, I love you so much. And she shouted at all the extras or
really?
SAs, which will be one of my pet peeves. Rightly bloody so.
Oh, God.
And I remember sitting there in my chair because I wasn't in that scene, and I was just sat. Because what I like as well is how they were letting me watch the filming, so I was sat behind the camera guys and stuff, and the director, because I was just like, I just want to see it through the camera what you are actually looking at.
Yeah.
And she turned around and told them all off, and I was like, yes, queen, yes, tell them off.
What were they doing? Were they just being ridiculous?
Yeah, we'll go into a pet peeve of.
Okay, here we go. Pet peeve.
So many books agents want so many people that half of these people have never been on a set before.
Yeah, so they don't know the etiquette of being on
They
set.
have no set etiquette.
Oh god.
They don't realise it is going to be 12 hours.
Yeah.
They don't realise you're probably only going to get fed like once or twice. They don't realise what it actually takes to be in the background of a film.
Yeah.
And they were loud.
Oh god.
They're all chatting, they're all talking, and they're trying to film a scene. It's being picked up by all the microphones. It doesn't matter if they're like a good 10 foot away from you. It was like in a big barn sort of thing. We can still hear you.
Just be quiet. You don't have to talk all the time.
And when you've got your poor runners and your poor ADs and stuff being like quiet on set, and they're talking.
Oh my god.
And it was happening so much. You know when you start to cringe?
Yeah.
I was starting to cringe, being like, no, because I'm in the sort of same boat as them.
You're just like, that's not me.
And I don't want them to think that I'm like that, because I actually care and I know how to behave on set, and I'm really interested in being in this film. I really want to.
I want more lines, please.
I want some more lines. I want to get to know you all. I want to do some networking. Screw all them.
That's not me.
And I really hope where like they have gone back and maybe said to that agency, I don't want A, B, C, D again, because it wastes time. I don't think they realise the time and effort it takes to cut, start again.
Yeah.
You know, lights, camera, action. They'll do it all again. The makeup people will come and run and touch your face.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Continuity. Come on.
And I'm like, so that is one of my pet peeves, is people not knowing how to behave on set.
Yeah.
And then I blame the agencies for that as well. I'm like, when you hire someone, do you just literally take the people that apply online? Do you not speak to them? Do you not vet them? Do you not tell them?
Mm-hmm.
And then all we'll get is like an email afterwards being like, oh, this production told us that some of you were
People had phones on, people were talking.
Phones, absolutely.
When you're not supposed to take any pictures.
But the phone is such a weird one. Like, they say things like, no phones on set, stop taking pictures on set. But then I see so many agencies then sharing the photos that people have taken on set, and I'm like, which one is it? Which one is it?
Yeah, be cohesive in what you're telling people, because if you want to take a picture, fine, just don't post it anywhere until the thing is out, then you can post it.
And then be like, this is a behind the scenes from a show that I did months and months ago.
Yeah.
It's now out, watch.
Yeah.
Not today's filming on location, unless maybe you know the director and and they're okay with it. But sometimes when I see these bigger productions, I'm like, should I really be able to see this, and should I be able to know this information? Because I know where you're filming now, so...
Hello? I'm going down there.
If I see Zac Efron, I'm running.
Zac, hey.
Your girls are coming.
Was it him that blocked you, or was it Daniel Radcliffe?
No, Zac Efron. Back in the early days of where like Emma Stone was my friend on Facebook and Zac Efron had just got Twitter, I was blocked.
Oh, no.
I'm unblocked now though.
Thank God.
I know.
I did worry about that for quite a while.
Oh, no. They're a lot better now. I can tweet him every day if I want to.
Every day.
Like Dylan O'Brien.
Here we go.
I'm convinced I've tweeted them that much. They must have seen one.
Probably.
You know what I mean? They must have.
I would think so.
Because it's a lot. Any chance I get. Like,
mate, I'm here for it.
I know, I've proposed that much as well.
I'm like, John Mayer. Targeting things. I'm like, I even got some tattoos. That are your lyrics. Hey, John. Hey, what's up? Anyway. Okay. Well, is that your pet peeve?
Yeah, that'll be my pet peeve. Badly behaved, no etiquette people.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Grow up. Mine will probably be on the flip side and being like, probably not being treated well. I once went to, where was it? Like over Chester way, past Chester, past Manchester, and they hadn't factored in the number of SAs, so half of us didn't get fed.
Oh, how long was the day?
14 hours. So we didn't get any lunch. Well, we did get some lunch because then they were like rationing it out.
So they wouldn't let you like go out and get a Subway and then pay for it or anything?
No, so they had to then bring additional catering in, and they were just like, oh, well, you know, you all should be grateful for this. And I'm like, well, it was your fault. You wanted all these villagers and you wanted all these people in this, but you didn't factor for 150 people. You factored for like 80 people.
Wow.
So there was a lot of older people in this as well.
And you know, being you and being me, that you let them feed first, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, you'll be the person. Because don't get me wrong, there are some greedy bitches
Yeah.
in these things. And, like, I'll go without.
Yeah.
And you're like me, you'd go without. But there's not a lot of people
that would.
Yeah.
I know. So that's my little pet peeve. Just be like, just make sure that we are looked after. I know, like, we're obviously bottom of the rung if we're an SA or something like that, but just make it a nice environment. You don't have to constantly be doing something for us. That's not what certain people in the on set are for.
Basic though, isn't it?
It's basic, like, human needs.
Even
Eat,
if it was a
drink.
late email of, we've not factored this in, can you please bring some lunch?
Yeah.
Cool. I'd rather know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stamp my feet and be like, I'm not being fed on set, because sometimes
and a lot
it's
of people
very
were
carby.
like that. Yeah, well, yeah, chips.
Very carby.
Lots of chips.
Lots of chips and sponge and custard.
Yeah.
So I'd happily bring...
I'd bring my own stuff.
It's kind of what I do, though. I do always bring, like, cereal bars and apples now and a book.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case I'm sat there for hours doing absolutely nothing.
There you go.
And I don't want to talk to people.
See?
You know.
Clever.
Just... Yeah, I've got my little essay backpack. What am I today?
Backpack.
Here.
Oh,
cool.
Love that.
Dora the Explorer.
Oh, I love that. Hola, Dora. Anyway, okay, we'll move swiftly on. Do you have a fun fact?
I have a fun fact.
Okay, here we go.
It's a bit of trivia.
Okay.
Actually, from The Last Kingdom. Now I've remembered its name.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
With our little Uhtred.
Cool.
Sexy Uhtred.
Sexy Uhtred. Oh, this is the guy. Okay. This is the guy I've seen. Yes.
Yes. So in the series, he's called Arsling by one of his friends.
Called what?
Arsling. Like arse and then ling. And it is very funny, okay? So it's like his right-hand man calls him Arsling, like, come on, Arsling. Come on, you know. So,
okay,
the
right.
trivia is, Arsling in Middle English wasn't a derogatory term. So you're watching it thinking, he's taking the mick out of him.
Okay.
It actually means, like, on the back or backwards. And Uhtred wears his sword on his back, not like at the side.
Oh.
So he's called him Arsling because he has he has his sword on his back. Oh. And I was like, oh, so it's actually not him taking the piss.
Endearing.
It's
slightly.
endearing. And then that is where we believe the word arse comes from. Because it means like back on back.
On the back, the bootay. Okay.
Yeah, so now if somebody's wearing like a backpack, you can just be like, hey up, arsling.
I love that. I
There you go.
love that. That's a really good fun fact.
Cool. Now, do you have a morbid?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Morbid fact.
We've changed it up. Romy's going to come with a fun fact. I'm going to come with a morbid fact. I have a morbid fact. Mine are always murder related, but this is not murder related. This is just a scary movie. So the Poltergeist franchise is totally cursed and haunted anyway, but that's not what we're getting into. In one of the scenes, there is like this awful like part where a woman falls into this like swampy, gunky thing, and it's full of skeletons. But guess what? Apparently, them skeletons are real. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So I've heard this for years and years and years, and I was just like, right, I'll have a little quick Google again. But apparently, it was cheaper to get real skeletons from like not a coroner's office, but like that had been donated to science. Yeah. Because the ones that you'd see in schools were real skeletons. Yeah. So they'd put the skeleton back together and give them to the schools for the science department. So it was cheaper to go and get all these skeletal remains and whatever and use them instead of making rubber ones and having them in there. So this woman was there like, oh God, here's a skull, hit me in the head, and here's a femur and all this.
Do you know what? I kind of would want recognition. I'd want that skeleton to be in the credits, just in case you can be like, oh, that's me nan.
That's me nan.
That's me nan.
That's Barb over there.
Look at she. Oh, it might be my grandma's head.
Oh God. Well,
it is a grim scene though. I know exactly. It's in the pool.
Yeah,
they're digging a pool, aren't they?
Horrendous.
Yeah. So imagine being the actress though.
Yeah, but she's probably haunted. I don't actually know if she's dead, but the whole series is cursed, and I think it's because of that. So there we go, morbid fact for you. Enjoy. Well, that's just me. Morbid facts. But yeah, that's it for another week.
Perfect. So that's the end of it for Creative Chronicles this week, guys. Yes. Make sure to comment, like, share,
subscribe,
be
follow,
nice,
be nice,
subscribe,
enjoy, listen to everything else.
Yeah. Even if you, just leave it on in the background to keep it,
Repeat.
Get the views up. You don't actually have to be there. Just put it on.
Just put it on. Leave it for your cat or dog when you're out.
They'll love it. Okay. Right. See you next week. Bye.